Capricorn, welcome to your bonus in-depth reading. That is yours and theirs. I hope you're well. I hope you're fabulous. Like always with yours and theirs, take it resonates, leave it does not, and reverse those energies as you see fit. More so with readings like yours and theirs, with energy exchange and interchange is real, rapid, and fluid. Having said that, your person that I see on this board today might be about to include the energies of a significant other, spouse, boyfriend, girlfriend, lover, ex of 5 years ago. I never know until the cards are on the table. But I'd also ask you to include or make space for those other elements in life I'm just as like to see. Work stuff, family stuff, spiritual stuff. But like always, default setting. Take it resonates, leave it does not. All right, what's up? What's going on? Show me Capricorn. And their person, show me Capricorn. And their person. We're going to start on your side of the board, like we always do. But as I said, reverse energies as you see fit. Ace of Swords, Queen of Swords, Four of Wands. Well, you know what you know. And you do. You know what you know. Hold on. The Chariot, Four of Swords, and the Three of Pentacles. They had to think about what they know, but technically speaking, they know what they know too, but they needed more time. Okay. Shared, Ten of Pentacles, Three of Swords, Page of Wands. Overview, Justice. Yeah. Trying to lean into the right thing. Listening to yourself, technically, legally, spiritually, all those things. I want you to listen to yourself. You're in a good position to do so. Okay? And straight away, and by the way, you might have a lot of Libra in your chart, but FYI. Ace of Swords, Queen of Swords, that's very strong. I'm focused. I've worked some things out. This is what's on my mind. I'm presenting it to you. Relationship, Four of Wands. Once more, relationship as two people define it, and you are interested in giving this definition. Okay? You made that very clear. You made your mind known. All right? You had thought about it. You presented it in a very factual, intellectual way. This is my truth. I'm looking for a relationship. Boom. What do you got? Okay. Chariot, Four of Swords, Three of Pentacles. They had to think about it before moving forward. They had to go to rest on this a little bit. Okay. So they took time out. And they said, Three of Pentacles, I can offer you friendship. So we're not on the same page. You have your goals. You know what you want. They had to think about theirs, which means they thought about you and they considered your thinking, your offer. They did. But they also concluded friendship. You want a relationship. To your credit, you made yourself clear, which was the right thing to do. This is what I'm looking for. What do you got? They said friendship. But I think it's sweet. They stopped to rest on it. They did. But yeah, friendship is friendship. And this is where we got to start making decisions as people. How you remain connected to them. Can you honestly say it's friendship with no other any other expectations, and you'll be okay. You might disconnect altogether. But I do know this. If you want a relationship and they're saying, this is what I can do as friendship, don't start one trying to coax out the other. When someone tells you where they are, believe them. All right? Ten of Pentacles, Three of Swords, Page of Wands. That's what I'm talking about. There is this thing about reality. You two have some sort of shared environment in there with the Ten of Pentacles. It's extensive, you know. The foundation, the environment's huge for most people. In some way, you're connected to them. Real life, 3D, you know. And it hurts. Three of Swords, Page of Wands. In some way, you honestly anticipate having to see this person or encounter them often enough. So again, I have to impress upon you. Can you honestly accept friendship and see them as friends? Because in some way, it's a given that you'll see them. Perhaps not all the time, but often enough. And it could hurt. And you know that. You're not stupid. You know that. Okay? So yeah, they've already ruled themselves out as a relationship person. It might be a goal for them tomorrow, but it's not a goal for them today. And they could change their mind tomorrow, but I'm reading what's here today. Okay? And I want to save you time and frustration and tears. Because I see it all the time. People start compromising themselves. Well, they said they can be friends, and maybe if I'm friend to them long enough and I stick around long enough, maybe they'll be. Don't do that. That's how you compromise yourself, and that would speak to anti-justice. So you said you know who you are, you know what you want, stick to it, okay? But if you anticipate to see this person, and this is what you can do. Okay. Okay. Oh, thank God. Okay. Okay. There you go. The occasional awkward, maybe slightly disappointing interaction. Hey, if you're not in a position to call them friend, remember it works both ways. Remember that. I had that same discussion with somebody years ago. Oh, this is back in my 20s. This is back in the college years. I had this conversation in my own way where I was clearly interested in them, and I was like, hey, where are you at? And they thought about it. I said, you know what? I think we can be friends. And I said, thank you for telling me where you are, but no thank you. It's like, what? What? We can't be friends? It's like, no. The way you can't see yourself in a relationship right now, I can't see being friends with you for the same reason. We don't match. You know? I cannot call somebody I just had that moment of seeing a relationship with or calling my lover. No. You want me to change that vision to friendship? That's not how this works. Sorry. Maybe I have an inflexible spirit or an inflexible mind, but no. I got my relationship goggles on. I got my lover's goggles, and you want me to switch to friendship goggles. Those are different glasses. So again, remember, it works both ways. If being called a friend is dissatisfying to you, then you have your answer. It's not what you want. Okay? It's not that they have all the power. It's just you two don't share powers. That's all. Justice. Anyway, I'm curious because you're showing me a little bit of a dilemma here. Just a little bit. It's going to suck to have to see them on a regular basis because in some way you anticipate it. Okay? Justice. You know what's weird about that scenario? He called me about 3 months later. I said, I want to circle back to that. It's like I decided I don't want to be friends anymore. I'd like to explore a relationship. I'm like, bro, I'm already in one. And by then it was, again, this is why you got to know yourself. So there was nothing wrong with his conclusion. There was nothing wrong with my conclusions. Just our conclusions didn't match. I eventually met my goal. And he had transformed into a new one. And that was his journey. That's his story takes over in a different direction at that point. You know what I mean? The thing is that you can't afford to sit around and wait for someone to be ready because they may never be. Especially if they know they got you comfortably waiting there. Shit. No, bro. I did that bullshit once. I'm not going to do it twice. Justice. And not with him, in a completely different situation, at a different time in my life. But at least looking back on that, I can honestly say I nailed that situation. Because let me tell you, he was an attractive dude. But it's for that same reason. I was like, I know that fucker's going to break my heart. I just know it. He says we're friends. Nah. Okay. Strength. The moon. Yeah. Oh, the hermit. Okay. Yeah, 3 majors on a major. I could easily coax these out for another 10 minutes each, but I won't. Strength, the moon, the hermit. Thing is, you don't seem to know how much work you've done. You don't seem to know. You've been working on some difficult concepts for years. You probably just call yourself stubborn. Why do I hold out for this? Why do I hold out for this? Why do I hold out for things? I don't know. I'm just stubborn. No. There's a lot of background work here that you don't fully acknowledge. I don't know why. But you're more powerful than you know, or that you give yourself credit for. Looking at you, you probably just think you're stubborn. Like you have no idea what you're holding. I don't know why I hold out for things. I have no idea. I have no idea why I insist. I have no idea why I push. I don't know. I'm just stubborn. Don't listen to me. But you're also like, yeah, P.S. listen to me though. The moon, the hermit. No, you've done a lot of work there, but you don't give yourself nearly enough credit. You guide yourself, you insist on guiding yourself in the sense of balance, karma, however it swings, be it good or bad. You try to aim for the good side of the scales, you know, making sure things work out for you in your favor. And then when in doubt, you try to default to what's right. Okay. When in doubt, I try to default to what's right. And a lot of people, again, will look at you and say, that Capricorn is so freaking stubborn. And it doesn't always even make sense to you, but I promise you, you've got a hermit running around in your background doing a lot of work under your moon. I hope that you get to meet that person inside you one day. I do. And by that I mean, look more closely at your direct efforts in healing and your pathway stuff over the years. You might be surprised at how much you actually know in terms of your healing and your life experience and where it has taken you and where you can see how in the past it affects you in present day. Okay. That's a big part of who you are. I hope you listen more to that person one day. Anyway, I believe you when you tell me then I know what I know. Oh, yeah. Oh, now more than ever. Ace of Swords. Ace of Swords. Ace of Swords. Your past, not just your past, but your path has played a big part in how you handle things today. But for some reason, you kind of downplay that with the moon. It's like, it's just a path. I've walked it. No big deal. We all have one. Oh, no. It's a huge contributor to your sense of balance. Here you are saying, I don't know why I do what I do. Yeah, you do. But no, you don't. Ace of Swords. I'll say it. Your particular truth as you understand it. Sharp, very sharp mind. Focus too. Ace of Wands. The Hierophant. 9 of Wands. Okay. All right, we're being very honest here. This idea of commitment is part of your core beliefs. Again, the Hierophant altogether represents permission. Okay, yes or no. In other words, non-negotiable beliefs, right? And that can be a pro and it can be a con, just like anything else. Okay. Right now, you're showing me insistence. I know what I know, but I also feel what I feel. I'm inspired. This could be new. I'd like to do this. I want to enter this arena, but I want to do so consciously. So conscious decision making. And there's some of that stubbornness right there. I gotta know. I am relationship oriented. Okay. I need to know that whatever relationship I enter into has a point or a purpose, or it's a no-go. So you see this very much as an inflexible point. Okay. Okay. There you go. You're doing what's right for you, but it's very blunt. And some might even call it forceful. Okay. Commitment's a core belief for you. I understand that. It's an imperative point. I am excited. I am looking at you. You could receive my focus. But I need to know you're someone who's worth giving my focus to. Tell me you understand the importance of commitment. Relationship definition. That's the team you're on. You're on team relationship. Okay? That if you're trying to enter into something with somebody somewhere, that you want it to have a point too. Okay? Tell me my thinking matches your thinking. All right. I was pressing back there. It's like the way you present it, I just got to get this out of the way. I need to know that it's a relationship. In other words, that's the focus. I'm not saying put a ring on my finger tomorrow. That's not what you're telling me. It's like anything you enter into at the very beginning, you're letting people know where you stand. I'm looking for something serious. You made it very clear. It's almost like I got to get that part of the way. And maybe you're right, especially given today's world where connectivity seems to be so loose and rapid and vapid too. Maybe it is best to just kind of put that out there. You know, first talks. I'm looking for something serious. So anything else need not apply, right? Queen of Swords. Yeah, there's a push on that too. It's forceful. Insistence. Yeah, that's an inflexible core belief for many of you. I see that. Page of Pentacles, Seven of Cups, Seven of Swords, you don't know if they'll take it. You don't know if they'll be open to it. And that's why you're asking. Smart. When in doubt, ask. You don't want to assume. You made that very clear. I don't want to assume either. And I don't want to put myself in a position where I'm constantly second guessing or questioning myself or afraid. So I'm just going to put it out there. So you had opportunities to not reveal your truth, and you did the opposite. You pushed them forward anyway. Again, you didn't have to, but you did. So good for you. You let that person know exactly what you're thinking. This looks like it happened very, very recently, didn't it? Very recently. Well, good for you. You got into that space where I need to make myself clear early, sooner rather than later. Okay, bravo. Just because, again, you know yourself and you're trying to honor yourself to the best of your abilities, which is all I want for anybody. It might have come across as a little forceful, but you're also showing me the importance of making that point. Okay? Four of Wands. Yeah, you didn't know and you don't want to assume, you know. But in order to be open to this, invest in it. You can't let doubts in there, you know? No. Entertain any doubts or sneaking suspicions. Like, no, I just need to address it. So you made it clear. Any connection to me is conditional upon understanding that I have something to work towards. Okay? The Star. The Magician, Ace of Cups. Yeah, okay, I got you. It's important. Because if not here, you're already showing me the willingness to move your manifestation on. Okay? But you gave this person a fair crack. You really did. You have been manifesting the whole thing, guys. Four of Wands, Ace of Cups, the Star. It's your dream, it's your vision. To be happily tied down. To be happily committed. You want it all. You want to be in love. You want the dream. You want the star, the longevity principle. Something that you can see far out there. Okay, the star. Something that you can reach for. That will see you into the future. Not just the short-term happiness that is the sun, but long-term fulfillment. Relationship. I mean, what you want is beautiful, and I don't want you to compromise that vision. It doesn't look like you are. But still, I felt the need to say that opening for a reason. And good for you. I'm glad you didn't want to leave any rooms for shadows and doubts to creep in. Well, I'm assuming they're on the same page as me, so I'll go ahead and invest. No, you didn't want to assume. Good. Good. And I like your concept here. If it's a no-go, I will move my manifestation on because it's too good. It's too good to be beat, right? What you want. It's pure, it's wholesome, and it's what you believe in. And you want to connect to somebody who has the equal sense of faith and direction. Makes sense. It does. Don't compromise that vision. Because eventually, according to your energy, you'll be right in the end anyway. Even if you don't necessarily know why, you know in the end you'll be right. Why does that amuse me so much? Why does that crack me up so much? I know I'm right in there some way, somehow, and that's why I'm so insistent. Call me stubborn if you will. Okay? I just know. That's what I'm saying. I want you to meet that other side of you, that part of you that I don't think you're very in tune with and you don't give much credit to. I don't know why. I respect people who try to live in the present, but you think that strength of will you have came from just out of the thin air? No, it's based on past experience. No, you don't become that firm in yourself, in your soul, in your spirit, unless you had a lot of material to work with. Okay. I hope one day you meet that hermit in you. All right. The Chariot. Four Swords. Rest. Lots of Sphere. Nine of Swords. Ace. Oh. I see. Matching Ace of Wands. You feel something, so do they. You feel a sense of hope and passion, so do they. Four Swords, Nine of Swords, Chariot. There is a delay in this person's arrival and their energy to you. It's enthusiastic, but it's nervous. It's nervous to approach you. It had to think for a while, reflect for a while. Okay. But they see you as quite inspiring. Okay. And you're like, oh, ditto. I see your energy, I match it. I see the same in you. I also find you inspiring. I also feel a sense of passion when I look at you in your direction. Do I have reason to hope? Mm-hmm. So again, once more, you're not asking for someone who just is approaching you for marriage. What you're saying is, I just want to know sooner rather than later we're on the same page. Are you just looking to play the field? Am I just an experienced Ace of Wands to you? Am I an experienced Torch? Because you can have an experience anywhere with anybody. It doesn't have to be contained to one person to have an experience. An experience is it's generic. Anybody can have an experience. What you're looking for is legitimacy. Is there a point to you? Or is your point stop and start with the Ace of Wands? Okay. You have every right to ask. You do. You know that. You should do. Let's see that 4 swords, please. Ten of Wands. So much heaviness. 7 of Swords. All Page of Swords. Yeah, okay. I'm glad you addressed that directly then, now more than ever. You just had a feeling about this person that they're not ready. They thought about it several times, which I suppose is flattering, but they can't see themselves stopping at just you, at just your feet. So they kind of go where the Ace of Wands takes them, I suppose, where the next source of inspiration and light. And it could be that they see you as someone who's so attractive, and they keep trying to think about it because you hold out, and because you don't just give out your energy, because you don't just give your permission to anybody. It could be that as well. I see them, goodness me, they stop and reflect and think on you so often. 10 of Wands, 7 of Swords, Page of Swords. It's like they don't have the nerve. They see moving forward in a serious way is such a hardship and burden, and that's their own internal bullshit. It has nothing to do with you. But it's like, man, me moving towards Capricorn, is it worth the cost? I got to think about that. So I see them wrestling with their conscience, and I'm glad you didn't leave that to chance. I'm glad that you did not assume that they are approaching with, well, strong intent, realistic intent. I'm glad you didn't assume that. I'm glad you addressed it directly. This is what I'm looking for. How about you? Because then there's no confusion. There can be literally no room for confusion because you addressed it. Okay. 3 of Pentacles. If someone tells you a relationship's that difficult, that's not where they are, please believe them. I know you know that, but still, just want to recap, because that's where so many people get lost in tarot. That's how I see it. Oh, you compromised yourself over that friendship. You were hoping it would turn into something more official. You could do that, but you choose not to. You will move your best effort, manifestation, love, desire, and vision onward to something that does fit, because this one's not compatible. I don't even need to finish the reading to know that. I'm sorry. I have as much faith in this person as this person has faith in themselves, which is very little. Okay, if you want me to do a reshuffle, I will. I'll do it. The Ace of Cups, 6 of Cups, Knight of Cups, 6 of Swords. I don't see them open to the quality that you're looking for. They keep wanting to settle in the friendship and hoping that's enough for you, and it's not. They'll throw things at you like, I've recently been through a separation, then you don't need to be seeing me. But I want to be friends with you. No. What you want to do is be friends with the energy at your time and at your convenience. So I am sympathetic, but also it's not what you are looking for. Okay, so let's go ahead and throw that back in there. Let's try that again. Three of Pentacles. I think this person's trying to wake up, get back out there into life. They're approaching you way too prematurely. They got a lot more shit they need to figure out. So if all they're wanting to do is dip that Ace of Wands and release some of that energy and feel free, they can do that elsewhere with someone who's more where they are. Okay? Exploratory, non-committal. The fact that they stopped and considered you several times is very flattering. Okay? But they keep coming back to, one, I'm not ready, I'm afraid, I'm too small, this is too heavy, I can't handle the heavy shit. Then that's true. That's true for them. That's their story. It's not your story. Okay? They have another story. They have another reading. It's not yours. Okay? All right. Three of Pentacles, Three of Wands, Two of Swords, Three of Swords. Yeah, no. They're hoping that you'll kind of wait or hold out. You're not gonna. Two of Swords, Three of Swords. They know that. They know that. They know in some way waiting is wrong and it's going to cause problems. So while in a way they hope that you will, they also know it's going to cause harm for anybody to wait for this situation. And you showed me I will move my manifestation on. I'm prepared to. You should. Absolutely. I'm glad that you got clear with this person straight out the gate. I'm very glad that you did. I'm grateful that you did. I am. It looks like they had a reapproach, or they are in the position of having a reapproach for you, circling back to it. Are you sure we can't be friends? Are you sure we can't just hang out? Can't we just go out, have a drink, have a laugh? It's like, yeah, we can do that in a relationship too. Ooh. You know, it's just not like that. You mean you want the benefits of a relationship on your terms. Again, you're not ready. All they're telling me, and what you're saying to them, all you're telling me is you're not ready. I'm the person that's ready. You want to connect to me, you need to be more where I am. I'm not going to go to where you are. Look at where you are. Someone who's terrified and insecure of stepping into a relationship. I don't want to be where you are. Come back. Try again. If you ever get to where I am. Or maybe not. I don't know. Ten of Pentacles. Point is, you're not intimidated or scared by the fact that you have to move your manifestation on. This one's not it. And that's an open-ended manifestation of the good things that you want for yourself. Those good goals, commitment, long-term love, long-term relationship. So this one is not sharing that signal of frequency. This is not the one you manifested. Okay? All right. Now, if you just want someone to pass the time with a little bit, okay. But I'd also say don't get emotionally involved with them either. But that's up to you. You're a big Capricorn. You can figure it out. Ten of Pentacles. But don't cross your core values. Three of Pentacles. Yeah, Knight of Cups, Six of Cups. Okay, so you've known each other a while, it seems, maybe. Three of Pentacles, Knight of Cups, Six of Cups. But it's got to stay in that friendship zone. There is potential for run-in. I feel like you've known this person a very long time. They're in your environment. I'm sure you have a lot of common interests, common cause around work, or who you're connected to and why in the community. I have no doubt. A lot of shared networks and resources, I'm sure. Knight of Cups, Six of Cups. In fact, looking at this, I would put good money that you two have very similar friends. You know each other. Oh, yeah, that person, how are they doing? Kind of like that. Oh, yeah, well, I heard from them. They're doing this and they're doing that. Okay. So you might have a lot of crossover. I bet good money that you do. That makes things a little more awkward, doesn't it? Well, not for you so much, because you stand firm in your convictions, because you spoke honestly. I don't think it's going to be so much in terms of repercussion. No, it's that sense of, it sucks. This sucks. This hurts. Kind of wish they'd kept that shit to themselves, you know? I think you two know a lot of the same people. Three of Swords. In fact, there's probably even been a question about why you two never got together. I mean, goodness me, that's quite the extensive history. And mutual friends, maybe. Three of Swords. Ace of Cups, Page of Wands, Nine of Wands. You just know. You just know. You know that love in the greater scheme of things will be rejected. You know. And it'll hurt you if you participate. Three of Swords, as I saw with him, same. If you two try to interact in a deeper way, it's like choosing this, you know, would harm each other. So there was that kind of half-hearted hope here that maybe the Capricorn will wait. Nope. They know they want love. Nope. You better squash that. And if they try to hang out and wait for me to develop more feeling, I'll end up hurting them. They really aren't in this space for anything more serious, okay? Page of Wands. This person's effort seems to be stretched out in very small ways over several weeks, if not a couple months. So I don't know when it started. But every now and again, it seems that they try to give you that look, that nod, that line of communication to indicate interest, see if they can stir the pot. But again, Five of Cups, Wheel of Fortune, well, that happens. Page of Wands, Five of Cups, looking at the past, a lot of pain, regret. Wheel of Fortune, Knight of Pentacles. Once upon a time, I even said it, didn't I? Looking at this here, look at that kind of advanced physical and emotional network overlap there. I have no doubt you two know the same people. I even said, didn't I? I'm sure at some point it was referenced about you two, why you two never got together. Yeah. That's one of the things they think about. Should have chosen you when I had the chance. Should have been open to you when I had the chance, and I didn't take that chance, or it didn't go well, or something like that. Because it's I'm under the impression this person has exited something. And they're right. They're not in a position for anything serious. You know that. But you honestly considered them. And you honestly know what the score is. No. Wheel of Fortune, it's coming back to somebody in some way. That sense of openness. I wish I'd chosen a different path. Would that different path had been you back in the day? Okay. Yeah. But yeah. No, good for you. Good for you, and by that I mean not that you rubbed anything in this person's face. No, you were very articulate. You were very forward with what you were thinking and feeling. It's like, I appreciate the attention. They think about that. They move forward a little bit. You give them more to work with. Look, this is what I'm looking for. Okay. They think about that. They back off, retreat. Then they try and approach again. It's all very small, very subtle. And so I think you make it look, I'm manifesting, or I'm asking in a different direction. Brand new love and things like that. And that's just not where you are. Okay. That's not where you are. And there's a sense of regret, remorse that things weren't treated or approached differently in the past, or we had made different choices, because Five of Cups can absolutely be regret of choice over the years. I wish I had chosen different love. I don't know, this is closed off forever, but it's you're not interested now. You know who you are, and you also seem to fully understand who they are and where they're not. Okay. I like that you're not confusing it. That makes me very happy. Alexa, off. Chasing. I see it. It's chasing light. Like I said, it checks in. You give them something to think about, it goes quiet. It reapproaches. You give them some more to think about, it goes quiet again. And then you're like, fine, look, this is where I'm at in my life, and this is where you're at in your life. It's all good. You can fulfill that Ace of Wands anywhere. You literally don't need me. And just because we're familiar with each other, all the more reason why I'm not going to blur the lines with you. Okay? I know too much about you, I think. That's almost what I'm trying to say. I'm sorry, I know too much about you. I know where you're at. I know where I'm not. Okay? You really do know too much about them. I'm not going to blur the lines with you. You're not ready. You're nowhere near it. At family, you're concerned with family. I understand that's one of your goals. Family, commitment, loving household. Okay? But yeah. Chasing, like I said, I think that's chasing light. Showing a little bit of resilience here. A little bit of persistence, but it's so mild. It's so mild. Their argument kind of loses wind when confronted with authentic emotion and this idea of commitment, meaning, context. You don't want to be with somebody who wilts under those topics. Peace. Yeah. It's like, you know what? It's not worth disrupting anything. I choose peace. I choose peace. I choose peace with myself, harmony and balance, and so you do. You're prepared to enforce it. I choose my own peace. I'm not trying to create drama with you. I choose my own peace. And being with them in some way would create drama. It would. Emotional drama, if nothing else. Mm-hmm. You don't want your peace disrupted. You've worked too damn hard for it. Cuckoo clock, 37. It's weird how things have a way of coming back around, eh? Time moves forward always. But sometimes it comes back to us. 37, a lot of time has passed. Things, it's so elaborate, isn't it? The cuckoo clock represents time. We lose sight of the process because it's so elaborate, but time moves forward and things have a way of falling through in time, you know? Coffin, it's 19. It's over. Okay, there's nothing to discuss. It's like, no, that time, our time, whatever that was, it's over, you know? And I'm not your runner-up. No, you're not. Highly desirable. Okay, so this is the Kala Lily. Finally, I remembered what it is. The Kala Lily. It's highly desirable, but not common. So, yeah, in this context, I believe it's you. Highly desirable, not common. Someone like you is not easily found. You think they would have approached you with a little bit more of appreciation. You're not just some daisy that can be picked off the ground. Okay? You represent fulfillment and desire that is both intimate but exclusive. 30, 19, and 37. Okay. Oh, goodness. I feel like yours actually went on for 50 minutes, and I look up, I'm under 40. What? Goodness me. Butterfly. A change for the better. It's good. It's good change. You've changed. Butterfly, completely different approach, transformation. Some of you have Scorpio in your chart could be speaking to now. And then May energies. Anyway, change. Possibly. I'm not trying to play into any bullshit. There might be a period when you're like, okay, no. Thanks, but no, I'm flattered. But no. No. You understand they need change and room for change and transformation, and that does not mean helping them limp along by being some sort of side attachment under a loose concept of friendship. There might be room for change between now and maybe May. If they reemerge, kind of like I think I related to you with my situation, more ready, and that was like 2 or 3 months later, how would I know that? I wasn't going to roll that dice and find out. Fuck no. By then I could have already been emotionally invested and sexually invested. No, thank you. But no, sometimes people need space for change. I'm under the impression that something changed in their world where their own connectivity had altered in the personal way. So I believe them when they say I'm not ready. But that's not for them to try to convince you to reduce your standards either. Remember that. Connect with people where you are in this life. Match for match. They have such a low aim. Aim for somebody within your field, not someone who's out of your line of sight. Okay. Anyway. It might be that they need more space, perhaps around May. All right. Balancing the scales. There it is. The scales right there. Dark man, dealings with a relationship with a man with dark complexion or hair. Okay. Ear. Good news. Listening. That's what I'm actually taking from this. Good news, but listening. You're listening to what's being said and also what's not being said. Okay. Okay. C, V, J, I, four-leaf clover. A little bit of luck. Oh, yeah. The way you're manifesting with so much clarity. I would almost say perfect form. That is a perfect form energetic manifestation if I've ever seen it. Oh, yeah. It's just a matter of time. It wouldn't be luck, though. It wouldn't be luck, but I know what you mean. All right. Just because we have some extra time, a little bit. Anything else, please, about this situation? Wheel of Fortune, the Tower. This was unexpected. I saw that Wheel of Fortune for you, and we talked about it with the clock, and the Tower is unexpected. You didn't think this would come back to you in any way? Yeah, I'm thinking there's some feels. The feels around the shoulda, coulda, wouldas. Once upon a time, you two crossed timelines, and they had the choice to go with you and take that and try to invest in it and develop with it, or they went somewhere else. They made choices elsewhere. Wheel of Fortune catch up on the timeline tower. You had no idea this was going to come back in some way. You thought it was concluded. But you're known. You two are known in the environment. In that way, I'm telling you, have shared connections, networks, resources, where in some way your names come up in conversation. And you hear about them. Oh, okay. And vice versa. So in a way, you have kind of unofficial, inconsistent hearings or dealings with them. And I have to insist, some of you go way back in that timeline, and it's like, well, why? How come you two were never a thing? Just didn't work out. They went another direction. Yeah, it's a bit of a surprise. Wheel of Fortune. Point is, you did not expect this to come back. You thought this was wrapped, it was done. Two of Cups. Oh my. We had no reason to believe this would come back around. There was a sense of feeling here that had a little depth to it. Two of Cups, Six of Wands. I'm not really sure how to take that. Two of Cups you can have with anybody. I insist upon that. Two of Cups suggests I feel this way about you. You feel this way about me. This is how you and I exchange. So there's a sense of some sort of emotional exchange between you two. And Six of Wands, feeling triumphant around that. So it's kind of like, see? I don't know. Sense of triumph over all this time. See? There's something here. I'm free to approach this, feel good about it. I don't know. But it doesn't seem to have any structure around it. So I don't know what kind of feeling that is, but it seems to be largely done in victory. Perhaps victory in feelings or ego-based attention. I don't quite know. I don't like throwing the Six of Wands under the bus. It's not my style. But in this one, see, it's almost... You are not the runner-up. Don't ever allow anyone to treat you like a runner-up. So if that's where that energy is coming from, see, I'm here after all this time. I'm trying to connect to you after all this time. No. You're trying to get your Ace of Wands out with me after all this time. And just because you can, because you're free to do so, doesn't mean I want it or welcome it. So again, you're in a low place, Aim low. That's what you can afford. Me, I'm working with a different tax bracket of energies, goals, wishes, wants, and desires. So that's kind of that feeling I get here. I see a runner-up. You're my second choice. Really? It's interesting. In this round, you're not my first pick at all. Okay. We have some more letters here. I know I did this already, but I went ahead and pulled some more. I don't know why. We have one letter, A. Envelope with the heart, incoming message. Eventually, yes. Oh, we have the key. I know you have the key to the situation. Courageous, friendly, charming. Aries, Aquarius, Libra. You could have any of these placements in your chart. Could be connecting to the season, might be important to you. Courageous, friendly, charming. Yeah. I do see you as being strong. You are friendly, and I have no doubt you're very charming. Perhaps you see them that way. But you have the key. You have the key to this situation, to lock or unlock it. It's entirely up to you. Okay. Capricorn, honey, I do hope this helped you. Put in the comments. Take care. Be well.